This is a story about two witches of Glamorgan. Now listen carefully, as there'll be some questions to answer following the story. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time in the kingdom of Glamorgan there stood a great city by the sea called Swansea. The king of this great land lived in a castle at the centre of the city with his only daughter, Marjorie. The king could no longer walk, but was often seen being wheeled around the castle walls by his daughter. Marjorie was a popular princess, happy and willing to go out of her way for others. The people of Swansea loved her and thought that she would one day make an excellent queen. As well as the king, his daughter and his subjects, the kingdom of Glamorgan was also home to two witches. Morta was ugly and disfigured and lived in the hills above the city. Desdemona, a beautiful witch who wore a gown that sparkled like 1,000 stars, lived in a quaint cottage at the end of the sea. On Marjorie's 18th birthday, the king was wheeled onto the walls overlooking the city to address those gathered below. "Who will rid the kingdom of my arch-enemy Morta?" he asked. "Many have ventured forth on this mission, but none have returned. Is anyone here brave enough to take on this challenge?" The crowd included knights from far and wide who had come to try and win the hand of Marjorie. Their magnificent horses pawed the ground as the king spoke. Only one in the crowd spoke out, a stranger not known to the king. "I will kill her," said the stranger, "but you must give me your crown in return." The king replied, "That is too much to give, but I will give you half of the silver in the treasury if you rid the kingdom of her." The stranger accepted and began the quest with a visit to the beautiful Desdemona. She was impressed by the stranger's bravery and agreed to help in return for a share of the promised silver. Desdemona handed the stranger a potion she had mixed contained in a small red bottle. "This will give you immense strength," she said as the stranger accepted the bottle. The stranger travelled from the cottage up to the hills overlooking the city in search of Morta. Morta had foreseen her fate in the tea leaves and was waiting for the stranger. They fought for some time, but Morta was no match for her adversary. Eventually, exhausted from the long battle, she agreed to leave the kingdom forever. And the stranger returned to Swansea to claim the promised reward.